I'll be with you guys soon. Yeah. I've just woken up. I am on edge because of Yusuf's antics earlier today. He outcunted me. As he's locked in, Hafsa Sanam, Lester Clouds, how you doing, bro? Land Spotter, Yusuf. Who else? Big Sings, Peter, Johad, Bilal, Byeface, how you doing? Bijan, how you doing? Daniel Sharman, how you doing, bro? Tamak, Smokey Bear, Peter, Yusuf. I'm on edge now, bro. Especially with you locking in. Yep, Sheriff of Nottingham is locked in, as are you guys. City. What's good, everyone? Hopefully we're all well. And I'm going to be very, very brief and try to be as energetic as I can with my live so that you lot don't take the piss out of me more than you already have. No Red Bull, just the Diet Coke. Yeah, so episode 4 of the Pros Live series. We had 2 established brands in Tangiers and Alpaca joiners for the first 2 weeks. Last week we had Ola, which is an example of a flourishing brand, been around for a couple of years, and they've started to really just take off now. And we're in the complete opposite end of the spectrum now. Brand new brand, UK brand, and yeah, they've made a really good introduction to the market so far. My experience of the Ascent Bowl was the first batch was okay. But what I did like about Saga was that he resonated with feedback. That's what he was big on. You know, whenever he'd ask me for my thoughts, it'll be what's wrong with the bowl, not what's good about it. And he took those insights and he made a repeat batch, and I'm smoking out of the bowl right now. I'm really enjoying it. So we're going to go through some of that. Some of you guys have asked some questions. We'll get those, obviously get those answered. A lot to get through today. We've also, Saga's using the opportunity to reveal a new product. We'll get to that, and that'll be one of the prizes for a giveaway, and I will also announce the winner of said giveaway during the live. So I'm just going to wait for Saga. He said he was packing a bowl. I don't think he's joined in. Let me just see if he is actually viewing the live. That would help. Okay, invite to join. Still waiting on Saga. All right. Ironically enough, that was probably the quickest introduction, and there's no sign of the guy. So we're just going to have to wait. I suppose whilst we wait for Saga, we could talk about some stuff that's pertaining to us lot really, and Shisha. Russia, I know, that's a very, very good point. What is the future about everything Russian? Personally, I'm very, I'm very skeptical about accessibility going forward. I think it's going to be tough. I really think it's going to be a bit of a red herring now, in terms of tea and all sorts. I'm smoking some Russian now. How often I'm going to be doing this over the next few weeks and months, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I don't know what the future holds in that respect. There's obviously the more pressing matters are the humanitarian side of things, you know, potential, immediate loss of life. And, you know, we've seen some of the attacks already. I suppose I will use the opportunity to say that, you know, good on everybody for condemning these atrocities, but we also need to pay homage to all the stuff that we are familiar with that perhaps doesn't get the same airtime from the mainstream media, such as Palestine, Iraq, the Uyghurs of China, all sorts. So, you know, we have to pay homage to everybody that's been subjected to atrocities, not just that part of the world. But obviously my thoughts are with everybody in Ukraine, and hopefully they get to a point of peace and they can overcome this sort of period, and I hope it doesn't come to what everyone thinks it's going to come to. But yeah, in terms of products that we get from Russia, I don't know. I don't know how it'll affect the Hookah Club show, which is just around the corner. We'll have to wait and see. That's a papaya and chupa gun, absolutely. People know by now this isn't just an elaborate ruse. Just get like a brand to come on, and then just me chatting to you guys. I'm waiting for Saga. We'll wait to see if he actually turns up. Let me see if I can message the guy. One never helps anyone, and this will always hurt people. Yeah, indeed. And I will agree with those sentiments, Matthew. Right, let's message Saga, see where the hell he's at, because he is late. Oh, we know he's British Asian / British Arab because he is tardy, which is right on cue. Let's see where you at. Yeah, when in doubt, blame on Palm. Sure thing, Matt. Yeah, let me just, I might take you up on that offer. I'm just waiting to see if Mr. Ascent will join us. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to see where this guy's at. The benefit of having the work phone with Insta. Saga has a habit of being late. Oh, you would know, brother. All right, what shall I say to him? Where you at, bro? Question mark. We're going to have to search for some filler topics. He's probably busy making version 3. He might present it. Who knows? I'll say this. He's a family man. So I can't begrudge him that. I've been there. 9 o'clock's a good time for me. I think it's normally a good time for him, but kids are kids, right? You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what happens day to day. If he is making version 3, I look forward to seeing it. He's probably doing it as we speak. Getting Coles, 1 minute. Okay, so we'll be joined by Saga soon, hopefully. What am I smoking at the moment? Thank you for asking. I am smoking Space Flavor straight. I normally mix, but because I'm feeling really forlorn about the prospect of not having access to tea, I want to experience Space, potentially for the last time in a very long time, straight. And it is delicious. It's a good flavour straight. It's very complex. It's got the rose in it. Can't really complain. Hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully we will have access to these amazing brands going forward. I don't know though. Political upheavals don't really help this cause. Kareem, how you doing, bro? I didn't catch your latest podcast, but I will get around to it, my bro. Go can, hope you well. Yeah, I forgot this is a VM handle. So the minute I'm smoking this, I'm smoking out of my VZ Custom Mini Ascent, and these 3 parts are 3 out of 4 parts to complete a setup, and hopefully part 4 is going to be a Caesar base via Kakas. So I'll show you guys that when I get it. It's going to look amazing. I mean, this with the actual VZ motif is incredible. The crystal effect on the actual base with the Ascent bowl, with the Lotus, yeah, it's going to be good. Adam, how you doing, bro? Ducking out of your formalities, bro. You should be serving your customers. There we go. Ascent Hookah has joined. Cool. All right, Saga. I'll leave it to you to send. In fact, I'll send you an invite, bro, because you're taking the piss. Request to join. Let's accept the guy. So this is the first time for me, as it is for a lot of people. Salam, bro.
Hello.
Hold on. Can we hear you?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. There's not a lag. I thought there was a lag, but we're okay.
Okay, cool.
Alhamdulillah. Fashionably late, my brother. Sorry. Yeah.
It's something that can't be beaten, you know.
I know.
We'll be late.
You got the cold on though. You got your bowl. What are you smoking, Saga?
I have got Laser Cola from Daft,
Very nice.
Vanilla from Trifecta, and Frosty from Must Have.
Vanilla Coke. I like it. Laser Cola is an interesting one because I don't like must-haves cola, but laser cola from Duff that
Slightly
I
different.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get more of like a licorice with the Must Have one. It's weird. They're pretty much like the same company, but they're just, and I say this time and time again, uh, the way our packaging is exactly the same. My experience of them, it's pretty much the same. It's just certain flavors, like dessert flavors, I prefer Duff. The fruity ones, I prefer Must Have. Cola, as an example,
Yeah.
prefer Duff. It's weird. Probably just as well, they've got two different brands really doing different flavors, so
Yeah. Exactly.
makes perfect sense. I'm smoking Must Have out of the Ascent as we speak, bro, and it's going good. I'm enjoying it.
Glad. I'm glad.
Cool, bro. I'll let you introduce yourself, Saga. Obviously, this is the first time you and I are speaking in this capacity. It's good to put a face to a name. But yeah, you go ahead. The questions we'll ask about you and your brand and stuff, but you just give a brief intro and we'll get into the questions, inshallah.
Uh, okay. Um, my name's Sigir. I'm the director of Ascent Hookah.
I
Um,
asked you how it was pronounced. Is it Sagir?
yeah, Sigir. But well, to be honest, there's like three different ways.
What would you
It's
prefer?
just
Let's get that
whatever
out of
is
the way.
suited to me, I just adjust to it because it's
Yeah,
like you've got family who talk to you, call you in a different way. Then you've got
yeah.
friends who call you in like the school way, and then you've got your work way. It's just yeah,
I know all too well about this, bro. I'm a stickler for pronunciation. I'll call you Sagir. It's all good. But yeah, sorry, I'll cut you off, bro. I just thought I'd get that out of the way.
yeah, no worries. Um, yeah, so I'm the director of Ascent Hookah. Um, been around since 2019, just along slowly working on a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2019, yeah.
That's
That
interesting.
was
So obviously in our minds it's November of last year because that's when the page was introduced. But you obviously it doesn't just come out of nothing. Like you've been working in the
yeah.
background.
So there was a few other things that I was working on at the same time. Contrary to belief, it's just a one-man team. It is just
Well,
me.
yeah,
Um, and basically, yeah, we launched our bowls last year in
yeah,
November with the mountain design.
yeah.
Um, and I think that's going really well.
No, it's really good. I mean, I'm smoking out of the improved version, shall we say? This is still indicative of what the bowl is. So for anyone who's not familiar, this is the Ascent Mountain. There's another bowl here, which is the new sort of addition, shall we say? But yeah, just sort of interesting features. You've got this sort of faceted effect at the front, and the trench. Like I said, it's not super low capacity, but it's kind of in the mid-low range.
Yeah,
Notch spire, decent sort of height to the spire and what have you. But what I do like about yourself, bro, and your brand is that you, and I said this at the start, is that you're so open to feedback and you always lead with what's wrong with the bowl, not what's right with the bowl. And that's refreshing because a lot of people, they just want to have their massages ego, their ego massaged, and you're different. You just want to make sure it's a product that has a resonance with
it's
the people that smoke it.
that for me that was my main thing. Is because I would make something and I would test it myself, but
Hmm.
obviously I'm not the same as everyone. So when it
Of
goes
course.
out, if I'm not getting good feedback, then I'm not happy. It's just my personal thing. If no one's happy with it, then I'm not happy with it.
Hmm.
Regardless of before or after testing, if someone isn't happy with it, then it needs to be changed.
Hmm.
So,
And you did a haul of replacements. I remember it vividly. I think
yeah,
back in, I think it was mid-December, and you
yeah,
said,
that's it.
"Bro, I'm replacing your bowl. No questions asked."
Yeah, exactly. Because
Best way to be.
the second I got the feedback, and it was like there's this slightly wrong with it or that slightly wrong with it. I was like, no problem. Give me a couple of weeks, it'll be done.
Yeah, which is to your credit.
Yeah,
So today's format's a bit weird because you've thrown me a curveball, a nice curveball. So we're obviously revealing your new product, and we're going to do a giveaway which includes that new product. So we'll probably I know people are here just to see the announcement for the winner. We'll get to that. I won't leave it too late because I know that's pretty much why people want to get in, and that's fine. If that's all you want, all good. We'll get to that. But it's kind of going to be into the questions. So we'll just get into it, bro. If that's okay with you. Cool. I'm going to try. I struggle with this questions icon, but I'm going to try and make it work.
I know.
There's your first question, Sige. So, what sort of markets are Ascent looking to target? Do you have a particular strategy in place for it? So, yeah, I'll let you take the lead on that one, bro.
Yeah, so I think in terms of market, well, I'm open to everything. I'm not trying to restrict it in any way. I
Hmm.
know it's not the cheapest bowl on the market, but
No.
that's purely down to the amount of work that goes into it. Um, I, I would love to price it lower, but it's just not something that's feasible at the moment.
Okay.
But in terms of strategy, I like to play it by ear
Hmm.
because like we said earlier, I like to go off the feedback.
Hmm.
So depending on what people want to see or what they want to have in terms of
Yeah.
bowl, design, capacity, things like that,
Yeah.
um, just sort of trying to feed into that.
Hmm.
And I mean, probably you could ask every single person that's bought one. First thing I
Hmm.
say to them is the second they've got it is, please send me your feedback.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is it. I think you're kind of pitching yourself at the high end of the market because you do mention the price, and I don't tend to get too bogged down with the price. If I like the product, and if it's what I feel is a reasonable price, then I don't really query it myself.
Yeah,
Um, and obviously, the feedback that you saw is from people who are more seasoned smokers, people who take the hobby a bit more seriously than just a casual smoker, shall we say? So, uh, objectively speaking, that's where I would see kind of Ascent fitting into the marketplace. That being said, could an entry level smoker take the bowl and pack presumably something that's lighter, like Blonde? Yes, you can. I mean, there were a couple of kinks on this bowl, but I did like this bowl on Blonde.
yeah,
So with a Locus, and the fact that it is HMD compatible, the fact that you can use it with Provost, foil, straight coals, what have you, does make it versatile. So yeah, I think I agree with your sentiments in that. Is you're trying to cater for as many people as possible, but then saying that uh, the product is kind of pitching itself at the higher end of the market because of the
yeah,
price point, the materials that you're using, and what have you. So yeah, and it's to your credit, to be honest. I think it's good to have. We've got obviously we haven't got that many UK brands. It's nice to see them kind of like pitching themselves at a more kind of discerning sort of level of the market, shall we say?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and what Matt said there as well. This is a hobby that will cost many, charge the value of the products, and more can be made. Yeah, I agree with that. At the end of the day, you're a one-man band. You've got to find a way to monetize this. I'm sure you're not making stupid profit margins of what you're doing because there's a lot of costs involved. Costs generally have gone up in the last 3 years.
It's
Obviously, you
crazy, man.
mentioned 2019.
Crazy.
Potters aren't cheap, all sorts.
I mean, I'll talk about it later, but
Yeah,
yeah, costs are crazy, aren't they?
I can imagine. I can imagine. Cool. So that's sets us off nicely, that question. And this is, again, we're talking about materials, maybe this is a good question. So, well, the question's gone, let me try that again. So what the bowl is made out of, is it a specific sort of, or particular clay mixture?
So
Or you can't say too
based,
much, it's a proprietary blend, but,
yeah,
whatever you're willing to.
it's based on a white clay source in the UK, um, and then it's blended in house
Mhm.
to a certain level,
Yeah.
and that's what we use. Well, that's what I use.
In
I mean, I
terms of
can't go into too much detail, obviously.
no, of course, no. Um, so why that? I mean, did you kind of experiment with sort of different mixtures and blends and different types
Yeah.
of clay? That
So,
probably pairs well with
so in
dark
terms
leaf.
of the bowls themselves, when I first started working on them, it was uh, end of Jan last year.
Mhm.
So from end of Jan last year up until November last
Mhm.
year, so a solid 10 months, it was just full R&D, testing out different clays, different designs,
Mhm.
different blends, just to get the right consistency and the right, you know, there's someone that hates it when I say this, but heat retention. Um,
It's important. That's
but
what more bowls
it's
do.
massively important, yeah.
Yeah. Why would
Um,
you spend that much money on a bowl?
exactly.
You know.
And it has to live up to it. So, yeah,
Yeah. I mean that term is banded around a lot, but it does make a difference. In terms of your actual smoking experience. The fact that you're well into a session, like an hour into the session, and it's still ripping. You don't need to resort to another cold change at that point. The fact that it gets to that sort of ideal temperature and it holds it, so it's not the tobacco's not turning, but it's still sufficient heat for the bowl to take and the tobacco to take. So yeah, I know it's a buzzword that's thrown, or buzz term rather, that's thrown around heat retention, but you've got to think about it, and it starts with the clay that you're
well,
using.
yeah, absolutely.
All good bowls, you do. That's the first thing you scrutinize is the clay and how
Yeah,
it's made. Because
exactly.
I've had different bowls from different brands and what have you, and they've like experimented with stuff. They've chopped and changed things. I'm thinking, why did you change this, man? Like it was so good before, and it's like, well, we tried to go for something that was a bit more cost effective. Well, if that's the market that you want, so be it. But it's kind of taken away from what people's experience are with that brand.
This is it, exactly. So that's why what we use is a house blend, and it's going to be the same clay,
Hmm.
whatever. As long as we can source it, we're never changing it, and we'll
Yeah,
use the same blend.
that's good.
You know,
Yeah, that's good. It's good to keep consistent like that. But generally, I think obviously the I know you've been doing this for a while, but in terms of people's awareness of the brand, we're talking what, like 3 months, but the reach has been remarkable. Like, people are asking like, well, can I get this bowled in certain parts of their
Yeah, yeah.
part of the world?
That,
But like Germany, the
I,
States, obviously here, it's ridiculous how far
that,
this brand has gone.
I kid you not, and this goes down to everyone out there, but I was blown away by the reception. And
Mm,
the whole thing was it wasn't intended to be announced.
mm,
It was just supposed to be a slow sort of build up to it.
yeah,
But then the way it happened, it just blew up completely.
yeah. And I suppose that's testament to this platform, really. And people, they see a product, they like it, they're like, oh my god, where do I get it? I had a few acquaintances over in Germany, they were saying, "Oh, bro, that ball looks amazing," because obviously it's a very unique design and it catches the eye. And obviously in the German market, they like that stuff. They
Yeah,
like something that looks, in their mind, it has a very sort of unique aesthetic, which the ball certainly has. Uh, Obviously, aesthetics are one thing, performance is quite the other. And if you can deliver on both, then that's great. But yeah, I think it is. I'll be honest, like kudos to you, and I'm proud of a UK brand that's had that kind of reach because I didn't expect it to go that far
yeah.
so quick.
I expected it to take a lot longer. I guess Instagram and people using Instagram is just
Absolutely,
amazing.
indeed, yeah, no, 100%. Let's see. Here's another one. Okay, let me try this again. What inspired you to start making bowls and create your brand? So we're talking about 3 years of your time here and your
Well,
thought
yeah.
process from start to here, really.
Basically, only a few people know this, but for the last 10 odd years, I've been in and out of the shisha industry. I mean, I've worked in lounges, I've worked in a few other companies as well, UK
Yeah,
based, and then I stepped away when I got married, so took some time off,
mashallah.
and then I just
Lounge life and married life. I
oh,
mean,
it doesn't work.
people ask me all the time, like, you should open a lounge. I'm like, really? I've got 3 kids and they're quite young. So, the amount, and I've got friends who own lounges and I can't, for the life of me, I don't know how they do it. And some that have young children as well and balancing that,
Yeah, it's mad.
mashallah, they pull it off. I couldn't, I think
I,
it's a certain mindset.
I could never do it because owning a lounge is like 24/7. That's your life, pretty much.
100%, yeah, 24/7. And to be fair, actually, your credentials are proven because the last I know Kakas, he likes to go for meetups in probably the better, more reputable sort of lounges, and
Yeah,
the last one obviously was with your friends at Flavors, and
yeah.
they've got strength. I can't eulogize about the amount of work that Naveen's done in the last sort of 2 years really with that lounge, and especially in the midst of a
Yeah,
pandemic.
yeah.
It's a force to be reckoned with in that part of London. There's like you can name the lounges in that part of the world that are actually pushing the boundaries, and Flavors is one of them. And Mabeen was at pains to kind of stress that. I know you were very instrumental in your role in trying to get that brand, that lounge to the level that it is today.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of my background knowledge and then just ongoing knowledge, and
Yeah,
kudos to them to take it all on as well.
absolutely.
Honestly, the amount of work that they've put in, I've seen it from day one to
Yeah,
today. It's been crazy, hectic, non-stop.
yeah,
They've been working, and
yeah.
they deserve to be where they are, man. Honestly.
I totally agree. And he's a great guy, and I think that's the other thing. It's all, I do try to be objective when I recommend lounges, but I do like it when the lounges I recommend, the people that I genuinely like, and Mabeen and the lads working there, Mehdi, all these guys, they're good people. I've never, since SubhanAllah to this day, I've still yet to go to Flavors. I mean, there was an opportunity yesterday where I could have gone, but obviously it's closed. So I don't know. Just fate seems to be sort of driving me and Mabeen apart. Seeing him at his lounge. That day will come, but I look forward to it.
It'll come.
But no, yeah, he obviously he was very adamant to get some more premium brands in terms of flavors that their what they had to offer. He stroked my ego by putting one of my mixes on the menu, which I'm in his debt for. But obviously, I think you would have had some kind of input on that as well. So in terms of your sort of background with smoking, how sort of what sort of brands have you kind of been smoking over your time in the shisha game?
Um, so back in the early days, it was Nakhla and Al Fakr, um,
Of
and
course.
then that's when Tangiers came into it. And I'm talking about maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little bit
Yeah,
longer than that.
yeah,
And when I tried it, I was like, wow,
yeah.
amazing. And this was at a
We all
friend's
remember the
house.
first time.
Yeah. And like, this was the funny thing. I was actually talking to Mubina about this. I was like, I had Tangiers properly about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Consistently. And then I just came back to it like end of last year after so long because it's just so difficult to get a hold of.
Hmm.
And I was like, I was sitting there in New Zealand and I was like, bro, you don't understand. This has not changed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's amazing what they've done to be able to keep it
I
consistent.
think, yeah, I think you alluded to it with what you were saying about keeping true to the actual, play body and the stuff that the materials that you're
Yeah,
using. It's pretty much the same as far as Tangiers are concerned. Why that brand's been so successful is that they've managed to stand the test of time, and all the methods that Eric put into place all those years ago, they still stand true today. And I got that impression massively when I spoke to Fong and Travis about 4 weeks ago, and the fact they still instill those values, the fact they're still as passionate now as they were back then, even more so, in terms of how much efficient stuff online. Yeah, but I suppose the reason why I wanted to ask that is because it's always when I speak to brand owners, I like to sort of glean what they like to have, because obviously I know what you're saying about sort of catering to other people, but I think when you're deciding, you have to kind of have your own kind of input as well on what
yeah,
what drove you to kind of bring about this brand, because it's not just like a random piece and you're going to do massive volumes and
like
selling for tuppence. You've got something that's actually quite special, and obviously it takes certain special products to make these brands sing, and Tangiers is definitely one of them. There is certainly a right and wrong pole to use on a brand like that.
yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah,
man. But yeah, so the way it actually started, because I was in and out of the business for so long,
yeah.
and then I just decided that because at that time, Russian pipes were nowhere to be seen in the UK. German
Oh yeah.
pipes every now and then. We're talking about maybe 6, 7 years ago.
Oh yeah. That's when they were really, really sort of
Yeah, and
taken into it. Really.
flavors very restricted. Everything was very
Mm.
restricted. And at that time, when I was working with other people, I was just like, look, I'm fed up with this. Not that they're bad products. It's just we can't get them here. We can try, but it's just difficult. Like you've got tax laws on tobacco,
Yeah,
importation on something from Russia or Germany. It was crazy at that time.
it's a non-starter. Yeah,
Yeah. So then I was like, look, let's do it here. Let's do it here. And then this was way back when. And then
yeah.
obviously I dropped off at that time. And when I came back, I was like, well, look, talk to one of my friends, and I said, look, I'm gonna do it. And then at these times, I was going to, so I don't know if you're familiar, Intertobac in Germany, in Dortmund.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I used to go there quite regularly, up until the whole lockdown thing. Used to meet a lot of people,
Hmm.
and just talk to them, get to know them.
Hmm.
It just every time I'd go there, it build it back up. Like I want to do
Yeah,
something. I want to do something.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then literally, I think 2019 then is when I had plans drawn up. So I did them myself,
Hmm.
and I sent them off to some manufacturers in the UK for
Yeah.
electric future pipe.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then at that stage, when I got back from Germany, the first prototype landed. Was testing. It changes. It was ongoing for about 6 months, 6, 7 months, and then obviously,
Hmm.
you know, COVID happened, and then
Yeah,
everyone's like, "Shit, we got to close our factories. We can't do
yeah.
orders. We can't take any new orders. We still got to." Even when factories opened up, there was like, "We've got so many back orders that we got to do because we couldn't
That's the
operate at full
thing.
capacity." So they
Yeah,
were like,
yeah,
"If you're
yeah.
going
And
to prioritize,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
going to be like twice or three
That's
times the
very
price."
true. Yeah. I mean, I work in manufacturing, and that's basically been the case. We've had lead times go out. I mean, the usual sort of lead time in our industry is 3 weeks, and I sent an inquiry to a UK-based mill back in November, and
Yeah,
they turned around and said to me, "Waleed, I can't actually quote this until the third quarter of 2022." And I'm thinking, that's a typo. Surely you mean you can't supply me until then? They said, "No, no. As an existing customer, I can't give you any new products or any new dies or tools to make until then," which is like at that point was like 10 months away. So
yeah,
that's kind of crystallizing how bad it's getting. And you're right, when people got back in July of the first lockdown 2020,
yeah,
all those all those months ago, that was the thing. I think a lot of people were just addressing their backlog, and then I think there was a point of people getting work out, even for significantly reduced margins, just to keep their guys busy. And then on the back of that, they got a lot of work, and then just the snowball effect happened. And then now
yeah,
you've got containers as well. Containers capacity reducing to like 3/4, and it affects everything, even us. Like coal's one thing. Like hopefully I'll speak to Sharman at one point in this capacity, and he'll tell us all about how difficult it is to get your hands on coal these days, because it's not even the access to containers, it's the regulations now being put onto containers, like, in terms of they've got to be refrigerated, and sometimes, those conditions and moisture
Yeah,
getting into the poles, all this, they're all unknowns,
it's
and
crazy. It's crazy.
it
It was
massively, yeah.
it turned from a passion project into a nightmare at one point, and I was like, oh, I'm getting so fed up with this. And then
Mm,
it was like, so the plan was to initially release the shisha pipe and then
yeah,
release the secondary thing, which would have been the bowl and then a few other things. Um, but because there was just so much difficulty with trying to get, because my whole thing was it has to be made in the UK. Um,
hmm,
again, it's not about a project. It's just I want it because then I can control everything. I can manage it properly. I can oversee
yeah,
the whole project. So
yeah,
it was like, okay, this isn't going anywhere right now. We can't. We've pressed it. We've pressed it. We've pressed it. It's not going anywhere. Let's just go on to the second project. And
yeah.
then um, my wife, God bless her, just said to me, "Look, here's all the supplies. Start working on the bowls." Like she literally went and bought everything for me, and she goes, "Look, forget this pipe, forget it, push it to back, start working on this." And I was like, "Wow,
Yeah. Behind every good man, right?
yeah,
Yeah. There you go. No, that's good. And it's good that you've got these, because I think a lot of people, they bemoan their spouses doing what we do, like, oh, she's not letting me smoke, and oh, she caught me, she gave me dirties, all this sort of thing. But your missus actually, she was very supportive in, getting these bowls to market, really.
yeah, yeah."
I daren't say that maybe if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But
No, honestly,
it,
yeah, it wouldn't have been. I was still been chasing
no.
the pipe still, but she was like, "No, just forget that right now. Work on this. This is something you can control. Work on it."
Is there
Um,
going to be scope for that? I mean, there are questions about other products, but do you reckon there's going to be like scope for this pipe to kind of launch at some point in the future? We
yeah,
will get to
yeah,
that. We will get to that, I'm sure.
yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Well, that leads us on to a good question later. This is another one. This is an interesting one. Would you accept custom orders from clients? This has a lot of nuances. This question,
Oh,
because it depends on what you want, what you
yeah. So this is the thing.
as a brand
So
want.
it it's difficult, but as long as I can do it, or there's scope for me to be able to do it,
Yeah,
yeah, I am taking custom orders.
brilliant. Yeah, I suppose in bowls it's a difficult one, because I mean, someone asked me earlier, where's this handle from, and I told them VM handmade, and obviously the clue's in the name. It's custom made. I told them I want it to match up to my VZ, and the guy behind it is he's a good lad. He's a young lad as well. He's
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very talented, and some of the stuff he's produced. This is one of my, I'm probably biased, but this is one of my favorites. And
yeah.
I got that bowl, well, this colorway in
Yeah, I
mind for
remember.
this, and yeah, I've got my Caesar base coming, so I can't wait for that. So that's where the aesthetics kind of, where that sort of comes into play. But a lot of people in the back of their mind, they're thinking, yeah, but it's not one of these like really sort of elusive brands like a Mason handle sort of thing. Like my personal preference, I prefer these, but I get the allure of Mason because they are the most accessible, and I suppose that's what adds kind of gravitas to the brand, is that if you've
Yeah,
got one, it really is special. So that's kind of where it's a kind of a difficult kind of point really for a producer of bowls. Do you go down the route of being fully custom made, or do you actually leave a bit of scope for, no, if you get it, then, good for you sort of thing. And, you're one of the lucky ones. There's always that kind of element to it as well, which
yeah,
probably even adds value, because the resale value for those bowls are ridiculous if they're a particular sort of the colorway or
yeah.
shape or design.
Like, there are a few custom orders I'm working on right now,
Wow.
but it it's up to the thing is in terms of the only thing I'll probably customize is the colors. I wouldn't really be changing too much of the design or in terms of capacity, because then it just starts conflicting with other products that might come in the future.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You've got to stay true to your kind of niche. Well, not, I wouldn't say niche, but what makes your brand special, effectively, and it's got to have
Yeah,
those kind of. This is a very notable bowl now. Although it's only been around for 3 months, people see this and think, oh, it's an Ascent bowl. So you don't really want to detract too much from that. Although you've still got the inherent properties of the clay and how that produces, and people smoking out of it thinking, yeah, this has all the hallmarks of an Ascent bowl, but then visually and certain characteristics you
exactly.
still want to kind of keep true to.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? But yeah, if there's scope for custom ones, that'll be interesting. I'd like to see, because you did that one of one kind of aqua blue kind of colorway, which I thought was quite cool. That was I don't know what inspired that particular one. There we go.
Um, it was it was initially just for fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it came out so nice. I was like, yeah. We got to release some of them. So
Have
at
you
the
had a lot
time,
of like specific demand for that? People message you saying, "Oh man, like that can't just be a one of one. We need more."
yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. So at the time, so there was only two made, right?
Yeah,
One was sort of with the idea to be part of this giveaway, um, and one was actually just to be sold. Um, and the fact that it came out so nice is just icing on the cake, you know.
yeah. So is that because I've not seen the colorway of the mountain bowl? Was that?
Yep, this will be one of them.
Oh, very nice. Very nice, cool. I'm just making sure that the actual page for the giveaway is still working because we are going to get to it. But no, that's good. I wasn't sure what to expect from that. I don't know if you were like having sort of thoughts in terms of, oh, we'll just go for one of the standard colors. But yeah, okay, so that's good. You know, a lot of people they don't know what they were getting, but that particular one is
Yeah,
nice. I
that's
I would
why
love
I
that
was a bit
myself.
hesitant about announcing the color because I didn't want to
Yeah,
mess
yeah, of
anyone up.
course. You want to make sure it comes out right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, cool. Well, when we get to the next part, you know, in terms of the new product reveal, we'll do the giveaway winner then. I think that'll be a
yeah,
good time to do it.
yeah.
Cool. Let's get to that. So generic questions now, Tigger. So what makes you different to your competitors?
I mean, it's difficult to say. I think because
Hmm.
every company has their own unique traits.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't say makes me different because we all make bowls at the end of the day. Um, I think the clay we use is quite unique in what it is. Um, but anything else, I think you're pretty much going to be getting that customer service. You probably get the same from Omar, you know, Mason, anyone that you speak to. Ola last
Yeah.
week.
Not necessarily. I think, you know, it's because you're a one-man band and you're a fledgling company, then, you know, I think when they message Ascent, they know they're going straight
Yeah,
to you, you know, and you know, you've got that autonomy of, yeah, that can happen or maybe not sort of thing. So that kind of accessibility to the actual brand owner
yeah,
is
yeah.
probably, I
You
suppose
know who you're
you could
speaking
argue
to.
that's a USP. Not a lot of people have that. I mean, and that's not to discredit anyone else. You know, if they've just gotten so big that they need to have customer service team kind of managing what they do, then that's, you know, kudos to them for getting as big as they have. But I think now, and this is why I think it's a good opportunity to get you on a live like this and for you to sort of speak to people, is because, you know, this is a good time because I know all you're going to do is people are going to sort of, in the comments or in the questions, they're going to see what kind of things they want, and you're just going to go away and just have like a mad brainstorm and think,
Yeah.
right, okay, what am I doing now? Where's the V3 come in? What am I going to do for that? So yeah, I suppose that's a USB really, in that, you know, it's you really that, you know,
Yeah,
they've got a direct line to you effectively.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime someone DMs me on Instagram or anything, it's always going to come straight through to me. You're always going to get a reply from me. It won't be someone else.
Yeah.
100%.
And I have to say, I mean, it's not just me. Like, I'm not just saying this because you're here, bro. But like a lot of people, they say, yeah, the guy behind the scene, he seems like a really cool guy. Like, I could just talk to him and just have like, you know, like Jinx and Hookah Graham. They just say, man, I was just talking to this guy for hours on end about all sorts, really. And then we got round to the bowls, and then we talked about other stuff as well. So you can't really have that with everybody, really. So I think
No,
that's to your
no.
credit. Yeah. Speak of the devil, Tasso's just joined, so that'd be. It's good to see him. So I'm sure, and again, obviously Tasso, he's just started up his shop as well. So there could be some
Yeah,
scope there for the bowls to be available. But not for me to say, that's for Tasso to say. Good evening, Tasso. We're just talking about you, bro.
yeah, yeah. Even.
Okay. I think this is probably a good time to talk about the new bowl. So what are your future plans, new products? So yeah, basic introduction to basic
So,
sort of insights and yeah.
so we've been spending a lot of time doing research on what people really wanted in terms of the
Mhm.
secondary bowl. Because obviously this is sort of the original Mountain was more of a mid-capacity sort of bowl.
Yeah.
And in speaking to like yourself and a lot of other
Yeah.
people, um, the demand was, can we get a low capacity bowl?
Yeah.
Um, and funny enough, when the Mountain actually launched, there was a prototype of a lower capacity bowl,
Yeah.
but it wasn't in production at the time. So so
Mhm.
since November up until maybe what yesterday,
Yeah.
it's just been non-stop testing,
I
testing,
can
testing,
imagine.
testing, and
Yeah. I know.
yeah, you know,
I know. Yeah, I do. And this is the, like, there's points where like, Bob, how was the session? How was the session? How was it? Good. I'll give you my thoughts later today, sort of thing. You know,
Still waiting for them.
yeah, I'll give you them. Come on, bro. I've been very forthcoming.
Yeah,
Bro, come on, man. Like the amount of stuff I've got to wade through, man. Like, oh, can you
I
test
know,
my phone? Can you test
I
my
know,
what? It's
I
it's
know.
hard. It really is hard. But no, I mean, I could sort of, yeah, I have tested a version of this new product, and yeah, I think the first bowl, like obviously I gave a feedback on the first one. He said, cool, bro, no worries. We'll send you the V2, if you want to call it that. I hate
Yeah,
using V2, V3, all this sort of stuff. But yeah, the new and improved mountain
yeah,
bolt, which was indeed new and improved. There was, you know, I mean, I'll talk about that briefly. So the stuff that I kind of alluded to was this was the main thing, obviously, that was
yeah,
addressed. So where this, I had to get like and that week I sold my map pair, and my map had a really thin grommet that would have been perfect for this. But yeah, that's what I was struggling with. But that was the first thing that was addressed. These where the faceting is, this was softened. Like I appreciate you want the mountain motif, but in terms of handling the bowl and what have you, that obviously would have been a bit cumbersome, so that was addressed. And then the actual trench, where this is a bit more orthogonal, you kind of curved it out, made it a bit more or less sharp in sort of edges, as it were. And again, the way the brands that I smoke, I think this particular version, and people don't really appreciate that. I kind of think, well, yeah, clay's one thing, the actual shape of the bowl,
yeah, yeah,
how that bowl is shaped in terms of the airflow within the trench. The shape of the trench will affect how that tobacco will perform,
yeah,
right? So that again was an improvement. So yeah, so that was a much improved bowl. So I'll keep showing this one. This isn't the Ascent mountain bowl that people would get if they do buy from you,
I've
but
got one. Yeah,
this is basically what the first version was. But in addition to that, you sent me the low cap one, which is you show yours and I'll show mine, and we could kind of
do you want to show
compare.
yours first, and then we'll.
Yeah, sure. That makes a lot more sense. So this was the low cap Ascent bowl. Very cool. And just for scale, guys, I've got my Coke can, so that's what we're talking. So when you've got big Anthro like you're truly, then this is obviously a very cumbersome bowl to pack. But I do like these kind of sort of short stem bowls, as it were. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've got that. This is the opposite end of the spectrum where it's probably a bit too wide for my liking. I actually aesthetically, I love this bowl. I actually prefer this to the mountain bowl because I like how the kind of faceted motif kind of goes all the way around. But the bowl, the trench of it, yeah, this is a very well for me. I'm looking at this bowl and thinking, you know, Tangiers is very suitable, and I've had Tangier sessions in this, and I've really, really enjoyed it. I'd say it's about 12, 13 grams. So it's definitely in the lower sort of cap bracket, if you will. But yeah, this is the latest offering from Ascent, everybody. Well, this is a version of it, in this sort of black finish with white accents. So yeah, but this isn't it. I mean, there's an
No,
improved
so
version of this, which is what
then
you like.
we. So I took your feedback and went back. Obviously, one of the things that we did is made it roughly the
Chunky.
same height.
Yeah,
And in terms of the trench, so the
yeah,
trench
the
is
walls.
roughly the same.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
spires
So
gone in a little bit. It's a
yeah,
bit more narrower,
perfect. Yeah, good.
and then the wall thickness has almost doubled.
Yeah, which is notable.
Yeah. So this is the new one.
Yeah. All right. Well,
And
everyone's going potty in the comments. Matt, we'll get to your questions soon about over in the States. We'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, you can get these in the States. There's a few American friends of
yeah,
mine that have
yeah,
got their hands
yeah,
on it.
they are getting
But
out in the States.
yeah,
So this one actually won't launch until mid-March,
hmm
purely so that I can build some more.
yeah,
Otherwise, there'll probably only be about 6 for sale. Um, but yeah, like you said, about 12 to 13 grams of Tangiers.
hmm
I think it's perfect for a quick setup and
yeah,
a
yeah,
lasting setup.
yeah.
Um,
And the thing, like people will look at this bowl and think, well, I can only smoke Tangiers in this. But if you actually want like a quick blonde session,
yeah,
have
exactly.
I got my Lotus down here? Can I? Let me see. Let's see if this box, because I'm actually testing if it is Lotus compatible. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. And again, this is just my preference. I like smoking blonde with Lotus, but
Yeah,
or you know, a lot of the Germans they like HMD. So yeah, as you can see, it's perfectly compatible. Works a treat. This for me is the ideal gauge because you can kind of just about fit the this kind of step on the Lotus fits on it
yeah,
perfectly. But then again, with the Provost, what I don't like is when I'm foiling and the Provost sits pretty much on the foil and not the actual rim, and then
yeah,
no
yeah.
matter how drum tight that foil is, you are going to
It's
get a
gonna
bit some
pop.
drag just by dint of the
Yeah,
fact that you've got stainless steel tray, Coles lid. Yeah, so yeah, versatile bulb. It's not just the dark leaf bulb, but for those who want to, and again, now's probably a good time to do this. If you want to save any tobacco, then these kind of bulbs are the way forward.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, but you've also, I've noticed you experimented with the colorways as well. So this is like a single tone black, but I think yours
Yeah.
have kind of got a bit of like a
So
two-tone
so
vibe.
this is a two-tone black and turquoise. Um, we'll come up with a funky name for it later. But um,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you kind of you hit the nail on the head with the first one. So I think just kind of do that really again. Don't go too off piece. Mountain Ball, Ascent. It's on theme, you know. So just I
yeah,
don't. I mean, I don't know. I'll let you think about that. You get your marketing guru to kind of tell you what's the best way forward.
yeah.
Even Bean's asking where's his.
Uh, somewhere it's coming. It's coming.
You're gonna have all your day ones in the comments, bro. What about mine?
Yeah.
I
So
got
yeah,
mine first with Bean.
that
Cool.
should be launching
Look forward to it. Yeah,
mid-March.
so we're not far away actually. We're only like 3 weeks away, and they'll be
Yeah,
available.
exactly. So the idea is to launch it with the website, because obviously we've had a lot of questions about a website, and
Hmm.
again, being just me, it's obviously been delayed by quite some time, but it is coming,
Hmm.
which will make it a lot easier for people
Yeah,
to find them and buy them.
I think that's remarkable how well you've done in the first 3 months without a website. Like everything has pretty much been on this platform.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, alhamdulillah, it's worked out really well. But I know a lot of people want a website so they can actually see it properly, see some pictures, see some details, some description.
Yeah.
So yeah, it will be launching hopefully in
Yeah.
mid-March.
Well, one of your Canadian supporters, Jinx, has joined us. He's an Answers Survival. Good to see you, Jinx. Hope you're well. Cool. Bro, do you want to show us the bowls for the giveaway, and we'll get to that? I'm just going to position my camera. Well, this is too close, so I can appreciate that people don't want to see my face this close, but I'm going to rotate it soon.
Okay, cool. Which one are we doing first?
Both of them are fine. We'll do whichever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, we'll start with this guy, and then we'll move on to the other one.
Yeah, cool. So it's this one here.
Just bring it closer, man. Let the people appreciate this finish. And yeah, that's my color. That's that really annoying turquoisey lead Moscow kind of turquoise Borealis, whatever. It's very nice. I envy whoever's getting that particular one because I do love the colorway. I'm not really an aesthetics guy, but that's stunning, and I like the gold accents on it as well.
Honestly, this color blew me away. Because
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't
The
know if
picture doesn't do it justice. The picture does not, because I've seen like
no,
different sort of shots of it, and it really doesn't do it justice.
no, and that's the thing. Like
Yeah,
even for me, when I'm making it, you're never 100% sure how it's going to come out
yeah,
because that's just the nature of it. Because
yeah.
what it looks like when it goes into a kiln and what it looks like when it comes out, two different things.
100%. Yeah, because I remember. I think the first time I truly appreciated that was when I was getting a custom Ola bowl, Ola, who I had on last week, and I remember them doing a flag bowl for me. And I gotta say, I think I preferred it before the fire, and that's what could happen. But it still looked great, like afterwards. But it just had this like nice kind of matte finish to it, which I prefer.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's what you're gonna do. Like certain glazes, their inherent properties, they just
that's it. Yeah,
react differently to those temperatures. So yeah, and so that was the first one, bro. And this guy,
this guy.
there we are. And I've tried this bowl, and I think that's an improved version, and it is a good bowl. It is good. I've had Tangier
Yeah,
sessions, and I've gone the distance. Yeah, I think it'll be a better experience than what I've had as well. And the experience I had was pretty good. So yeah, good stuff. Nice colorway, just straightforward black, panther black. Yeah.
nice.
All right. Okay. So let's rotate the screen. So let's see. This is going to be really. This is going to be painful on the eyes because it's kind of inverted and the screen's not really helping. So I'll do this quick. We'll get it out of the way. So as we can see, I've just taken names from people who commented and obviously shared and followed myself and Ascent, and there's a decent number there. And like I said, I think with a lot of these sort of app sortiers, if you just go on the actual post, as it were, I don't think they I've heard things like they prioritize accounts with bigger followers, so I thought this is the most fair way to do it. Hopefully, someone who's completely new to the hobby, or I prefer it when people who aren't really bloggers as such win it. But you know, if a blogger wins it, kudos, that's fine. But we'll see. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
so I'm gonna run the wheel. Hopefully, people can see this. I don't know who the hell that is, but congratulations,
Marker, Marker 7.
Martha Seven.
Yeah,
Martha Seven, congratulations. Yeah, and that was rude. I shouldn't have said I don't know who the hell they are. I appreciate you for following and supporting Martha. But yeah, brilliant giveaway, bro. We're going to see people drop off now, which is fine. But no, that's. I think yeah, just thank you for doing that giveaway, bro. Like I think it's you're a young brand, but you're still willing to give back, and I think
you know,
that's a great thing.
you know, when we first started speaking about it, it was something I was thinking about, and I'm
Yeah,
thinking maybe, possibly, it might be something we could do once a month.
yeah,
Giveaway every month, but you know, we'll come back to it.
yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. I'm open. I mean, I mean, I've kind of been like, before I even started doing these lives. You know, obviously, Sige was one of the first people I contacted because I knew he'd be keen on it, and I think you know it'd be a good opportunity to have a brand like Ascent because we've had like established brands. I think the new ones are also pretty good. Stuff that I wasn't aware of, I didn't realize that you started 3 years ago, and then obviously pandemic hit and
Yeah,
that kind of derailed you. But then you obviously back on track now. But then you were like, I suggested, should we do the reveal for the new products? And you said, we'll do one better. We'll do that, and we'll also do a giveaway for two products. I was like, wow, this is
yeah,
remarkable. But no, I think it's great, and I hope Marpa Seven. I hope I'm going to make a note of that somewhere. I
yeah.
hope Marpa Seven enjoyed
We'll message
their
the
bowls.
owners.
Yeah, but no, we'll I'll get in touch with them. I'll see, you know, where I mean, you said it was a worldwide giveaway, so that's again, that was another thing that I was blown away by. I thought, you know, kept it to UK, that's good enough, but it's a worldwide brand now. To be honest, I mean, you've got reach, so
That's it.
right,
Yeah, I know. And there's a lot of people that want to get it, but the shipping alone costs about half the bowl, and it's just
yeah,
it becomes so difficult for them to get it, and then they've got duties on it
yeah,
when it lands in their country as well. And
yeah,
I feel bad sometimes. I'm just like, I
yeah.
wish you could have it,
You
but
can't do anything about that. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know if Panagiotis, I'm speaking to quite regularly now. He won the last giveaway that was with Kakas, and we did everything to try and circumvent taxes. But he said, "Bro, I've just been hit by 60 euros," and I was apologetic. I was like, "Bro, I'm so sorry." And he was like, "No, no, it's to be expected. Greeks are horrible when it comes to this sort of thing." And I just said, but to be fair to him, he said, to be honest, the thing that I won would have cost me like triple the price, and it was something that I
but
wanted
yeah,
anyway. So I thought, yeah, okay, well, that's good enough for me. If you're happy, I'm happy, sort of thing. But there's only so much you can do, really. But yeah, but I still think, you know, I still am a big believer in making giveaways, you know, broadening the reach as possible because it's an international community, really. You know,
that's it
speak,
exactly. And
you're only in East, or I'm presuming you're in East London,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're in London, yeah, not far in theory, and you know. So it's good. I like and for me, I want a you know good UK brand. I want it to have reach. So I think the fact that we've done it that way is great. I don't think they're abroad, but I'll have to establish that and find out.
we'll
Um,
find out.
this is it. When you do giveaways, it's like you get all these names and weird sort of Instagram handles come at you, and it's like, I don't know, who's this? Like, where are you based? Yeah, but no, that's great. So yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I think it was very kind of you to do that for us. We'll get back into the questions. Okay, cool. I hate this question icon. It's ridiculous. I click and it goes. But yeah, back on track. So will Ascent as a company be making other Hookah products? Kind of touched on that
Yeah,
in future pride bowls. So you mentioned a rig.
yeah. So it's what I'm actually smoking out of now. It was the final prototype before yeah was supposed to go into production. Um, it's actually made of aluminium. Um,
Okay, I'm an aluminium
and
guy. And
yeah,
people, you know what? Like people shit on aluminium in terms of what you know products that we buy, but aluminium's going to be around for another 300 years.
oh yeah,
It's recyclable
exactly.
material. It's lightweight. A lot of people they say, "Oh, I love this rig. It's so heavy." But to be honest, you know, I do like somehow having that something's quite compact. And aluminium machines really well in the right grade of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
So
fumes is a good example. That's 7,000. That's made out of aerospace grade aluminium, and that stuff to machine is brilliant. Like you can hit tolerances you can't achieve on commercial sort of
exactly,
alloys,
exactly.
and that scope you've got with aluminium is broad.
Yeah. And so it was supposed to come out, obviously. back in probably 2020, but things delayed it.
Yeah,
But yeah, there will be some changes, and
yeah.
just to sort of update it in terms of what's there now. Um, and yeah, we're making our vases in the UK as well.
That would be a feat because that I know. I mean,
Oh, it's
I'm
not cheap.
no, because
It's
I'm good. I'm good friends with Riz from Smoke on the Saw. Obviously,
yeah,
he's been to flavors and stuff. He knows the beef. But yeah, I think they've done it's hard. It's even hard now, particularly with manufacturing and base costs now compared to when it was when they started doing
oh
it. But it's on
yeah,
to you, and they've tried to make everything UK and everything metal-wise is UK made, but the base is made abroad, and I can't blame them for that because
yeah,
glass in particular. I complain about the cost I'm paying on aluminium, but then I speak to customers who do window systems, and I'm thinking about what they paid like 3 years ago for a sheet of glass compared to now. It's eye-watering. It's absolutely eye-watering. When you're doing these intricate shapes, even worse.
it's crazy. It is crazy. Um, but funny enough, I managed to make a good partnership with someone who was actually going to be doing them at a really good price for me. Uh,
Okay.
Obviously, it was based on a big order, big order, but um, yeah. So that was one of the things that was actually working for me was that the bars I could actually have done here in the UK, no problem. But the rest of the
Hmm.
stuff, it was just working out to be a nightmare.
Yeah, but
But having said that, possibly towards the end of this year,
no way.
yeah, possibly towards the end of this year.
This is what I'm talking about, man. Like I'm thinking, yeah, I know a bit about Ascent. I know about the brand. I chat to Sagir quite often. It's not really for me, but I had no idea. That's it.
Yeah, man. That hold on. Can I? How do I do this? Flip it.
Oh shit. Oh damn. Oh, was that the base?
Yeah.
God, wait, no, we've got to see, come on, man. We've got to see a better view of this if you can. Look at that base, man. Cool. It's kind of got like it's not as ornate as an Eggerman, but it has that kind of Eggerman kind of like cone shape to it. That's nothing. That's the amount of water in that is minimal.
So it was the whole point of it was to be a sleek design.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it
I've
was
got an
supposed
exclusive. I'm happy. That's
um,
awesome.
so there are going to be some changes to it.
Yeah.
Uh, Again, just to update the design a bit, and yeah, hopefully end of this year. And so obviously we did the mountain last year.
Yeah.
The stone design coming out March. There are two proposed designs coming,
Mm,
possibly again 3 months apart.
no way. And that's towards the back end of this year.
Yeah, so we should have the third design possibly end of summer, and then the fourth one end of the year.
No way.
So there
Okay.
should be four designs by the end of the year. Yeah,
No one asked about this because no one saw this coming, brothers. So I'm going to ask on everyone's behalf.
go for it.
So, okay, but you showed us briefly what it was, and you mentioned the materials briefly. So, you talk to us about the assembly, like the heart, the up stand, down stand. I saw there was a sleeve. I don't know if that's kind of molded. You don't have to tell us everything, but give us
That's
like
not
a
sleeve.
brief.
That's not
That's a
sleeve.
complete piece. That's a complete CNC, or
Yeah, yeah.
is this a fully CNC machine piece of aluminium?
CNC machines.
Bro, show me that again. Oh, God, sorry. I've got to see this guy. Come on. I'm really sorry. This is disrupting your session. So that
So
is a whole piece. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to my Zara Genie, which had a similar sort of thing. It was CNC machined aluminium,
yeah, it's all CNC, aluminium.
anodized black.
Yeah,
Nice, nice, nice.
obviously.
Can I ask a question, and it might pertain to a potential design flaw?
Go for it.
Right. Okay. Threads on aluminium pipes, they're normally very squeaky. How is yours?
Oh, it's hella squeaky.
Yeah. There's no
Hella
getting
squeaky,
around that, unfortunately.
especially after about 2 years of use.
I bet. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Unfortunately, when you thread aluminium, no
Oh,
matter
you
what
just
alloy, it
what
doesn't.
alloy
It's
is
not
it?
seamless as stainless as steel.
Yeah. So what happens is the anodization on it slowly
Yeah,
starts scratching away as you're filling it.
yeah,
Um, I don't think there's anything that can be done about it apart from greasing it, but
or using WD-40, which I wouldn't recommend. You don't want to inhale that shit.
no, you
So
don't want to inhale it. Exactly. That's the problem. Yeah.
I don't think there's much you could do about that, to be honest. I mean,
No,
you know, with
no, that's the thing.
you know, two aluminium pipes. That I mean, I sold my Zara Genie recently. I don't
Yeah.
why I did that. I don't know because I love that pipe, and I loved that it was aluminium. It was lightweight, and you had the crystal,
Yeah, it's like, this is nothing to carry.
the check base to it, and what have you. The fumes as well. Fumes is great, but yeah, that squeak is
The
loud
whole
as
thing
hell.
is,
You know.
um, as soon as you use it, if you wipe it dry, make sure there's no moisture on the first, you're good.
Yeah,
If
that's
you've got
true.
a little bit of moisture on it, it messes it up completely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mub said it was. Is it modular? Can you break it down into like a smaller? You're not saying too much. The less you give, the better. But yeah, okay, cool. That's another feature. But it looks quite compact anyway. So
So this
CNC
is
machined
about
aluminium, steel tray, downstem presumably out of steel.
I'll just tell you anyway. So basically, the whole thing is simple, right? And you can have it so that it actually sits on my Bambino.
Yeah.
It can actually fit onto a Maya Bambino as well,
Oh, okay.
on the bars of it. You can go from that small. But,
Yeah. Well, Mubs is just baiting you out, and he's putting eye emojis. That's just basically Mubs to a T. He's on form tonight, lads. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't expecting that. New rig
so
potentially.
and go on to this.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
And you see
That's
the
like a
side of
Mia
that,
QT lathe.
right? Covered in dust because it's just been sitting there for a while. But that also has its own custom bars made.
Yeah.
By this,
Oh, was it yours? Okay.
yeah. So that's the Bambino bars. This was the
Yeah.
smaller version of the big bars.
Yeah. Very nice. And is it a threaded joint on the heart, or is it going to be like a usual sort of grommet bit?
So it sits. So obviously with the bigger bars, it will sit in it like a traditional setup.
Hmm.
With the smaller vases, you get a little adapter.
Yeah.
Which then sits on top of it.
It's very feature heavy. There's a lot. There's a lot going into it.
Yeah. So that was the whole idea. It was
Yeah.
basically for me. It was at that time I was traveling a lot as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I
Yeah.
want my
Okay.
smoke wherever I go,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't want to have to give up any sort of features on it while I'm traveling. But that's what I want. That's what I like. So
Yeah.
you literally can go from about 30 centimeters to 20 centimeters.
I was going to make a horrible joke. As you ascend, your pipe ascends with you. Fucking horrible. I'm so sorry. The dad, you're a dad. You get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's the theme. That's the marketing right there,
there you go.
bro.
That's what it was all
Take it,
about.
run with it.
Yeah, that's it. We'll quote you now.
But that's where the market's heading. People want. I mean, what am I smoking at? I'm smoking specifically out of my BZ because I can do multiple cold changes, like I have demonstrated, and I'm about to do now. Because it's here, it's not up here, and you know the fact that I can actually break this down and have the bowl sat right on top of the heart. I love that shit, and a lot of people do. I mean, it's just those kind of features are great, and the fact that it's modular. That's BZ's baited you out too much tonight, bro. But I appreciate you being so forthcoming.
But you know what? It's about time anyway. It's about time.
Yeah. Of course, it's been in your mind for a long time, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so this has been with me since about 20. So initially, the design started in about 2018.
But this is it. It wasn't even the bowls. It was the rigs.
Yeah, so it was on the rig itself, and the rig
Yeah.
from 2018 to about
Yeah.
mid 2020, it was
Yeah.
all of that, and then it was like, okay, we got to change tactic for a little while.
Yeah.
So we're gonna come back.
Yeah, that's fine. Makes sense. Bowls are probably more accessible in terms
Yeah.
of manufacture, and then I think with manufacturing, steel or aluminium, and I know this better than anyone. Economies of scale become the real sort of obstacle, shall we say. And then obviously when you've got limiting capacity and availability of people actually to produce the stuff, then it just becomes more cumbersome. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really looking forward to see how that turns out. And God, I mean, another UK actual pipe, that's the more the merrier.
What's that?
Leading on from my horrible joke just now, who came up with the mountain design and what is the meaning behind it?
So the mountain design actually came up with myself. And the reason for it is basically, so a lot of parents knock the whole shisha thing. They're not quite happy with it, are they?
Say that again. Sorry, I
So
didn't hear
a
that.
lot of parents sort of have a thing against shisha.
Yeah. Yeah.
But basically, I wanted to sort of. So basically, my dad's house is in Kashmir, on the mountainside. So I was like, look, Dad, this one's for you. So that's what it was actually.
That's amazing.
Based on, obviously, it's not exactly drawn to what it is, but
Yeah.
his house is on the mountainside, and I wanted to sort of take some inspiration from that.
Yeah. Call this the Azad ball then, yeah. Just that's the market. You want it based on that. I think that's great. I think that's really, really good. I think obviously the community here is made up of predominantly people from Asian or well, less so me, I'm Arab, but from an Asian background. So yeah, in terms of like enthusiast circles, that's a real nice homage to your roots. I've no idea. I think that's really cool. What was your dad's take on it?
It's actually blown away by it because you didn't think I would actually be able to pull it off. So, yeah, he's always asking me that.
How apt is that? How accurate is that? He's like, okay, try it. Yeah, because it's close to his heart, isn't it? Like, are you second generation? Was your dad born there and you?
Yeah, so my dad was born there and I was born here.
Yeah. Yeah, so it has a deeper meaning for him that you're trying to make this bowl in homage to your roots, and it's like, yeah, is it going to really do it justice?
Yeah,
I think you're doing a good job. I think this is pretty good.
thank you.
It's still not the same. There's one part of the world I really want to go to because everyone talks about it. Like, oh, bro, you're going to go to Kashmir.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's so much to see there. The sightseeing, the actual natural beauties that are there. Yeah. Again, no idea, but that's interesting. That's great to know. I'm going to bun this question icon, bro. Apart from the unique design, will there be other designs or even an Eggy Ascent? I was going to ask that, and trust my mate Stefan, Hookah Housings, to ask such a great question.
Possibly. Say possibly. I'll look into it.
Are you looking into it? Is that something that you thought about, or?
It is one of them. It is one of
Yeah.
them. Yeah, a possibility of it. But again, you're looking at probably either 3 months or 6 months from now before it
Oh,
gets
serious? So this is actually this is potentially imminent then.
Yeah.
An Ascent Eggy. All right. Well, dibs. I want one. Yeah, because I think that I speak to people like bomb manufacturers on occasion. They do say that achieving that convexity to the actual trench without a cast can be quite cumbersome and difficult. And obviously, you're dealing with a putter; they'll tell you what's feasible, what isn't. I think that probably might be an obstacle, maybe, just trying to get that perfect sort of like curved shape to the actual trench of it using an eggy.
Well, the thing is, because I make them all myself.
Wait, hold on. You make them, you hand spin them.
Yeah.
Get the hell out. Seriously. So why do I feel stupid right now, bro? I thought so. Wait, you're a potter, basically.
Yeah.
Get the hell out. Shabash, bro. Well done. That's amazing. I have no idea.
By daytime, I have one profession. Then I've got my family. Then I've got pottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've made this. This is your hands created.
I'll make it all by hand.
No wonder you're charging the earth for it, bro. It's like, I made that. And my blood, sweat, and tears went into that bowl, man. How dare you? I had no idea because you got a lot of brand, but this is it. I mean, you know, like it's not many people that do that. Like yourself, Lucas, Hazy. I mean, you know, Lucas is great because he'll hand spin the bowls on his Discord on occasion. Like he'll say, everybody jump on and making a bowl, and then he'll create something. Sometimes I'm making a shot glass, or I'm making a cup, or I'm actually going to make a bowl for the drop that's coming. And it's not everybody that does that. You know, they have, you know, the actual brand owner get their hands dirty and they actually spin the bowls themselves. How'd you get into that then? Because was it just like something that you recently got into? Is it?
No, so that was it. So basically, because even with the shisha itself, the pipe, it was me designing it the whole way. So it was always me, like, completely involved in it. And then when
Yeah,
it came to the bowls, I was like, I don't want to give it off to someone else because then I can't. It's like me getting the rig made in another country. I can't guarantee what they're going to produce.
yeah, 100%.
So for me, it was like I have to produce it so that I know it's going to be to that quality and that standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole of 2021, it was, you know, from something like that
Okay. Yeah.
to
You
something
can
like
see where the
that.
skill set's improved. Yeah.
Yeah, massive.
That's no disrespect to the bowls you've just shown me, but I mean that and these or that I'm speaking out of now is shades apart.
that, and then I was like, no, I don't like the design.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something out of it.
Yeah. And that's what you
It's
landed
one
on.
of the first
I'm not
things I
alone in
started.
being pleasantly surprised. I'm not alone in that. People, I don't think anyone realised that it was just you making it. So you've got a
Yeah.
pottery wheel at home in East, and your missus is like, oh God, you're getting like clay all over the place.
Oh man, the mess that it makes.
I bet.
The mess. It takes up a decent amount of space as well. But yeah, crazy. But yeah, I make them all myself.
That's I don't know if that's just me being from the Midlands, or I just have a sweeping generalisation of London is just not doing anything for themselves. But thank you for refuting that misconception. That's amazing, bro. I had no idea. I don't think anyone had any idea, if I'm being honest.
There's only a few people that know because they've actually asked. Um,
Well, no, I kept on saying, you're Potter. You're like, I've got to shut this guy up, man. I'm doing the half a graft. I'm doing the same.
that's the thing. Like I have so much respect for the other companies that I know. Obviously, not everyone is hands-on involved, but when I see the bowls, like I've got Alpaca, I've got Mason, I've got Ola, I've got what else I've got, but when I see it, I'm just like I appreciate it because I know the work that's gone into it.
Well, yeah, me too, but not to the extent that I saw last week. Like when I
Yeah,
mean,
like Matt.
the connection was terrible, and a lot of people they didn't really get to see it in like the full sort of extent that I did. But Max, the guy that they've got working there, man, like
Oh,
he's literally working
phenomenal.
his fingers to the bone, like somewhere in the middle of forensic, just hand spinning these bowls, hand painting them, these finishing touches. I don't know if
Yeah.
Nabeen's like locked in, but not Nabeen, McKee. He had his what was it? His anime bowl, his Doctor Hisoka bowl, and the accuracy on that was impeccable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And when you actually see it like in the flesh, it truly is something that you don't appreciate
There's a
until
month
you actually
that
see it up close.
even when he turned around and said they make about what was it like 150 balls a day,
Yeah,
that's not even me on my best day. But you know,
yeah. You never know. You might get some subcontract inquiries now on the back of it. Like, can you make a bowl for us? That's really good. When did you get into it? Sorry, but I'm asking all these questions because there's all
no,
these
no, no
revelations
problem,
of this life, bro.
man. Yeah, so that was literally it. So when I stopped working on the rig, my time freed up. So I shifted it all to this then. This was end of 2020, early 2021.
Mm.
So
So you've had
this
a
whole
good
time,
sort of like year at it, really.
yeah, and it was like literally every night working on it to get it to
Yeah,
that point. Because anything I was doing, it was like, no, this needs change, that needs change. And me, like, I, I hate it, but I'm like almost a perfectionist. So for me,
yeah, yeah.
if one thing goes off, scrap it. The whole thing is scrapped.
You sound like a Potter, which is good. Which is good. You need to have that. You need to be that discerning because I think people will hear that and think, oh, he's only been at it for a year. Well, I've tried your bowl and it's fire. You know, it works. It works a treat. I mean, even the improvement from this to that
Yeah,
is incredible. But yeah, it just goes to show that if you work hard enough at something, even if you put enough time into it, like you can have years and years of experience, but if you condense so much time into mastering a craft, which you clearly have, then you can achieve it in such a short space of time. Like a year's not that long when you think about it, and the fact that you're getting these products out into respectable marketplaces, you know, like Germany and the States, the fact that they're, you know, eulogizing about this bowl and this, you know, all the good stuff about it. No, Shabash, bro, Mabruk to you, man. You've done well, and I had no idea. I seriously had no idea.
Because that
You're
was
a humble brother,
basically
by the
what
way, because I would have led with that. I'd have been like, yeah, I make all these balls myself. You know, this is all me. It took me saying someone else made it multiple times for you to say, no, I've got correct with Eden now, as usual. It's good.
I thought,
But you sound like you enjoy it as well, man. Like it's not just, you know, like you really, the longer you've been at it, the longer you've really like developed the skill set.
yeah,
And really,
you know, when you first start, obviously, everything's a bit difficult,
yeah,
and you spend a lot of time on it, and sometimes it doesn't turn out the way you want it. Like,
yeah,
I'm telling you, like, there's some of them that I made yesterday that completely messed up. And it can be really frustrating. But up until that point,
yeah,
you can really enjoy yourself.
yeah.
Because you got to remember, it's all in your hands, so you're making what it is.
Which is a good and bad thing, because I mean, at the end of the day, but I don't think you're doubting your abilities now, but like you're thinking, God, can I really pull this off? But on the same token, you know what you want, and you don't have to convey that to like a third party. You know exactly what's going to be, what the end product should look like, because you know, if someone says to you, "Together, I want this, that, and this needs to be tweaked." Like that. No wonder. I mean, now I'm thinking about it. No wonder it was so quick. Like the turnaround on the new batches, because if you're going to have to subcontract that out to someone, it's like, oh, I'm working on something else now. I already gave you like a allocation for capacity on a batch. I'm working, like, it's going to be another month or two before I can produce it. But that's probably why you've churned them out so quickly, because it's you doing them yourself.
Exactly. Because it's me. Again, that's why
Yeah,
I prefer it, because then I can control the production. So if someone, like a lot of the times people ask, oh, when is this going to release, or when is it, da, da, da. I just say to them, look, tell me what you want, and I'll get it to you as quick as I can. Forget what
yeah. But in their mind, they're thinking you're going to bark at someone to do it, but it's like, no, I will do it myself.
I will do it. Yeah, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, you probably got like the chat like there, and you've got the wheel there, and you're like, oh yeah, but yeah, okay, cool. And then,
Do you know what? That's the worst part, is when I'm trying to make them, and then my phone's just pinging off non-stop.
yeah,
Like my
it's
hands
like,
are dirty. I can't even touch the phone.
especially me, because my feedback is like this, and you're like, what the fuck will he say?
God,
Don't get my
it's a
hands
back
dirty
phone.
again. Yeah. SubhanAllah, bro. No idea. And honestly, bro, like you're killing it if that's the case. Very well done. What kind of clay that you use? We've already covered that. Uh, this could be a controversial question, and it's trust Matt to ask the question. What's your least favorite thing about Hookah? You've been in and out of the game for 10 years, so you should be able to answer this with a bit of credibility. Say that again, bro. Sorry. Your audio cut off there for a second, bro. Sorry.
Tobacco.
Tobacco. Just tobacco. Bro, I'm really sorry. Your audio is like cutting in and out. I don't know. Is it
Can you hear me now?
just
I said the tax on tobacco.
the tax on tobacco? Yeah, got you loud and clear. Yeah. Tasso, if you want to pack a bowl and join us, I'm happy to if Sagira is. Yeah, do it. Fine. Cool. Lock in. Yeah. Elaborate. I mean, I agree with you, but yeah.
I mean, for example, now you had arguably one of the best tobacco companies on your first live, and everybody in the world is struggling to get it,
Yeah.
and everyone knows why. It's the tax law. For me personally, I feel like it's unfair. In terms of general basic, it's an unfair process. Obviously, it's not deterrent, but I feel like in terms of what they actually do.
Mm-hmm. It's counterintuitive because you're looking at the actual materials that they're basing this on, and they're thinking, and it's all the usual crap like, oh yeah, shisha is equivalent to 50 cigs and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, well, no, it's filtered. Cigarettes aren't filtered in the same way that shisha is. Shisha tobacco has different properties to cigarette tobacco. They're completely different entities. Yeah, and the fact they kind of pull it all in the same melting pot is frustrating because what they don't appreciate is that it's the usual thing, man. If you put taxation or you put so much red tape in for premium products, then what's going to surface is all the crap, and that's basically what we've got in the UK. We don't. we have a lot of. I mean, in the next couple of years, with when some of all the European protocols start to take less precedence here, and then we start relying upon Public Health England more for this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Um, they're going to look at it and think, well, what actually goes into it, and then they'll hopefully realise that the
it's
stuff
not
that
as
comes
bad as
from
make it out to
other
be.
parts of the country where the tobacco is properly cultivated and produced domestically and produced in a way that's actually better than what you
Yeah,
have elsewhere, where they're using all kinds of different weird and wonderful binding agents and ingesting that. But they're not. They're just turn their nose up at those nuances.
yeah,
They probably
exactly.
get
It's just it's turning a blind eye to it because they know.
yeah, yeah. And it's not good for us because obviously it just makes certain things more
Yeah,
inaccessible for us. Good stuff. And I'm not purporting that it's the healthiest thing to get into. Far from it. But there is a healthy and a healthy way. Or there's an element of damage limitation. Like there's certain things that we don't do. Or we would look at certain setups and lounges and think, cool, I couldn't do that. I couldn't smoke like that. I'm like, I've got to clean my stuff regularly and all this kind
yeah,
of thing.
exactly.
But they're not. But they're not helping that. I think they're
No,
mitigating, if anything. And that's the frustrating aspect.
yeah, most definitely. Uh, it, it's what drives the black market, isn't it? The whole point
Pretty
of that.
much. It's BM. It's literally, and that's you're looking at the volume and the percentage of BM tobacco products in the UK. It's eye-watering. Like when you look at what percentage is made up of, I hate using the word bathtub. I don't like using
Yeah,
that term, but if we're
I
gonna,
don't use
I think it's crass, but yeah, predominantly it's made up of that really, and people have a genuine sort of concern about that kind of thing. Well, the current sort of regulations, they don't really help in that regard, in my
it.
opinion. I may be biased, but objectively speaking, even if I wasn't part of the hobby, if I looked at the actual factors, I think, well, no, surely you'd want to have more regulation, but regulation that's actually feasible and realistic,
Exactly.
not what's being imposed. What's being imposed is a deterrent, which shouldn't be the way. It should be a way
No.
to make the hobby accessible, but as safe as possible for everybody, and
Yeah,
vetting quality products that have been made in the right way. So yeah, I'd agree with you because the annoying thing about it is that it's not just affecting us that invest in the hobby and enjoy it for what it is. The whole sphere of things, like if you're entry level or you're just getting into it, you're leaving them bereft of quality stuff, or you're making it more inaccessible for them. Yeah,
the thing
I've
is,
got loads of bugbears, but that's a good one.
yeah, I know, right? And the thing is, because they make it so difficult to actually get such good products into the country, people are left with no choice but to take these options, which aren't the best. Like you said, like the bathtub flavors, or
Yeah.
something that gets smuggled in, and you don't even know if it's legit or not. And it makes someone could be taking in something that's a lot worse for them just because of this
hmm
process that you set up.
hmm Yeah, that's it. I'm pissed off now. I'm sure
But
you
they're
are
our
as
least
well.
favorite.
I asked that question. I'm thinking, oh man, like it's going to go on a mad one now. He's going to start venting this stuff, and I don't blame you, bro. Like it's
That is my biggest issue, I think.
no, I know, but it's a valid one and one that we can all relate to. Question. Okay, so that side of the Atlantic. So I'll include America in this because Matt was asking. So are they coming to Canada? And Jinx Hooker asked that question, which is quite crucial. So over to you, bro.
Um, with Canada, I'm hoping, and I know he's listening as well. Um, March,
Oh,
mid-March,
good.
hopefully. With America, um, I am doing some orders at the moment.
Okay.
So people can order directly. It's the same with any country at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
If
potential customer
you'd
might be
like,
joining us. I'm going to do the classic Mabine eye emojis right now. Yeah.
where is he?
Well, yeah, exactly. He's back in the
Where is
bubble.
he?
He doesn't take too long to back a ball either. But anyway, yeah. So
um,
there is that go. And to
but
be honest, like both those guys, I mean, they're both very discerning people and they're both very respected people. They obviously Jing started out as a vendor. Tasso was he does more of he did the blogging like ourselves, but now he's moving into doing some wholesale stuff, which I think is
yeah,
great. I love that. It's actually quite refreshing, like having someone who's started out with an inherent sort of passion, and now people know what he's about, what kind of stuff they like, and then he will basically start stocking products that people
yeah,
can say, well, yeah, I trust this guy's sort of opinion, and he seems a very discerning kind of person when it comes to this sort of thing. And they don't stock stuff just to make a bank, so
no,
it's
exactly.
really stuff that they're passionate about. So the fact that your product kind of falls into that is great, because I think that's the thing. It's not just every man and his dog and all vendors that are looking at it thinking, oh, how much is it? How much? What volume? What price? What wholesale price can you do for me? It's actually people who appreciate the product for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things. I mean, um, waiting for him to join, but yeah, like Tasso reached out straight away.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got in, we started speaking. I got him a few bowls over there, um, and I'll let him finish the story.
yeah.
But yeah,
In his own time. Yeah, no, it'll be good. I think for me, I'll be. I have no claim to this product, but just as a UK enthusiast, I'm proud. Like, it's good. Like, I do what I do, and people are saying what products are over there that are popping right now, and I think, well, yeah, there's not a lot to sing about. There's a few, like obviously Tudor, yourselves, Smoke Console. They've been doing great for the last 3 years, and they start to get a bit more of a reckoning now. Even certain Russian lounges and stuff, some more discerning lounges in the UK. And it's gratifying, that we've actually got something to offer, because we're still, I mean, the community here, we obviously have all the bad stuff. So that question about what's bad about Hookah, I'd have gone off on one, and I don't want to, but there's a lot of good as well, and a lot of the good is being fulfilled by yourself and all these other brands, and it's gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling seeing these products abroad. Then and I was happy for you. I was happy, especially when like some of the more reputable sort of German bloggers. And I know German bloggers, they like the visuals and the really iconic sort of pics and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. But still, people look at that and it has resonance with people. Instagram is an inherently visual platform, so if it works well on the back of that, and then people who actually are more concerned about the performance of it, they can vet it and they can put their stamp of authority and say, yeah, I approve of this product. And all well and good, man. Yeah, it'll be good to see them. It'll be good to see them in other parts of the world, including that sort of part of the world. Uh, sort of generic questions. I suppose glazing's an interesting one, because I mean, Martha's going to obviously be a proud recipient of the. I don't even know what to call that glaze, that beautiful turquoisey one, man. But have you kind of played around? And I can ask you this question now because I know you're doing it. So, what kind of glazes have you kind of played around with? What kind of designs and stuff?
crap load. But it's so hard just picking the ones to sort of release. Because then you've got the element of the single color, and then you've got the element of two-tone colors or three-tone colors. Man, it drives me mad. Just
Would
trying
you
to
say
find
that to some extent is that harder than the actual throwing of the clay?
yes,
Really?
100%. Yes.
You know what? Everyone says this, and I'm thinking I'm just thinking of that film Ghost, and what's fucking Bruce Willis's old missus called? I forget her, but she's like Patrick Swayze behind her.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's the art form, man. Like glazing, just slap it on, fine, and it'll
yeah.
be okay. But obviously, like you said, you have like food grade, you've got some
Yeah,
glazes with a bit of metal in there, and all these different trace elements, and how it reacts. Sometimes the glaze completely cracks, and you have all
yeah.
these fractures in the glaze. There's all these factors that you
There's
just have
so
really good freedom
there's
with.
so many things that can go wrong if you're not paying attention. And um, one of the biggest, probably the biggest issues that a lot of pubs probably have, not the making, not the actual process of making it, is going from what you've made to getting it
Yeah.
glaze. And it's obviously the most difficult thing, because once you've prepped it for glaze, you put it in the kiln and it burns to, depending on what temperature you choose, but it's about 1200 upwards.
I was going to
But
say, like stoneware, typically the yield on it's
yeah,
like 1300, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and people don't appreciate that. They don't appreciate that. Well, why do you go for some stuff like stoneware? Or why do you go for a particular clay
yeah,
bed?
yeah,
It's because if it hits those temperatures, it's going to mature more than the porcelain or all these other different
exactly.
variants, and you can get these types of molecules in the actual clay body of the bowl.
Yeah,
AIDS, heat retention, all these factors that you want from a session. So yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, 1200 and you put a glaze on it, that's a different story to the actual clay you're using.
exactly. So that's the thing. So when you look at something that's finished just before the glaze, and then when you look at it when it comes out after the glaze, could be two completely different stories.
Yeah,
And that alone, the glazing is probably the hardest issue, I think, because you got to pick something that you're going to be happy to put out, but you need to be sure that someone's going to want it as well.
yeah.
So that's why it's like very selective. Like the original when we launched was 6 colors, but I think at some point we're going to phase out the 6 colors, and it'll probably get reduced down to about 3.
Mm.
on the mountain.
Okay.
And then we might allow for a bit more custom colors if people want them.
Yeah. Makes sense. You'd rather perfect those, you know. And I'll be honest, subjectively speaking, of those 6 that you introduced,
Yeah.
I would say 3. I thought, yes, these are amazing. The other, and again, my personal palette, not so
Yeah.
much. We're pretty much done with the questions, so we'll get Tasso on because he's requested and he's got a bowl fired, so we'll get him on. He's got a lot of positive things to say about the Ascent bowl. Hopefully, this works. Not done this before, like a cameo, but you know, Tasso's his opinion I value, so I hope he can join us.
Good evening.
Tasso, how you doing, Malaka? You good? I'm
What's
sorry.
going on,
I have to
guys?
hit you with the Malaka. I have to.
That's the
How you
great
doing,
that
brother?
we use. Very good.
Yeah.
I've been trying to like watch the live. I was getting home from work, so I was just like, all right, let me pack a bowl real quick and join you guys.
Yeah, it's got to be like what? Like, what time is it now? It's what, 6
5:30.
o'clock over there.
5:30.
5:30. Yeah, we go. Yeah. It's closing time.
How's everybody doing?
We're chilling, man.
Good.
You know, Sagir's been helpful, man. I've learned so much today. I didn't realize he was making the bowls himself. You probably knew that. I didn't because I don't ask the questions that you do.
Just a few
Yeah.
things, not much. You know, like as I said, you know, it's a new bowl, and I see a lot of potential in it as far as the company itself and the bowl itself.
I
And
agree.
I'm all in. Like it's something that I'm very ambitious about, you know?
Yeah.
And that goes for the product and the manufacturer as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose this is a good opportunity to ask about what you're up to, Tasso, because obviously you started to do some wholesale and started to get some products in for yourself and stuff that you like. I don't want to give away too much and step on your toes, but I mean, if you want to impart that, that'd be good.
We are on like the last task. We have a website. It's 99% done. We're almost there. We're stacked up. We have a good inventory with stuff that we already tried and reviewed. So this is going to be the whole concept of the store. We don't just buy stuff and sell them. It's stuff that we either tried or will try first before we sell them on the store. So that means that we're not in this only just for the business. It was our passion that eventually turned into a business, you know. So
and I think you guys will be great because of that.
Thank you. We took our time with everything as far as the business and everything else. We got our own office. We're gonna have a few announcements soon, you know, like a setup. Even, you know, like new stuff are in, bunch of hookahs, products, tobacco. We have a tobacco license, so we'll be able to sell tobacco as well. And
we were just talking about that and all the red tape.
So
it's hard for us here, man.
We'll try to make it as simple and as, you know, like we interact. Like it'll be to the point where you go on the website, you don't know me personally, you don't know my Instagram or anything like that, and you have a question and you start chatting with us, I will personally be there to answer your questions. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah, you've got Hookah NY saying NY represent. And yeah, absolutely. There's going to be like reputable representation on the East Coast. I think that's great. You know, obviously there's like Boba is a bit more down south, but you guys doing what you're going to be doing.
We already have a lot of support from New York, and we haven't even officially launched like in store. And it's also the convenience for them. You know, we don't really have access to go in store and buy hookah stuff, like premium hookah stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll also give New York the convenience to just, you don't have to pay shipping, you don't have to wait. Walk in and buy it.
Yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot, but obviously you've been speaking to Sagira about Ascent and what have you. So is there scope for those products to be stocked when you are set up?
We're trying. We're working on it. I tried to give them as much room and time as possible. There's no pressure because it's something that investing time and money in is something that I want it to be perfect, and it's nearly there. Like I have confidence in this, you know?
Yeah. I can't wait. I think it's going to be cool. With UK brand has sort of reputable representation over in the States. I think that's going to be a real point of sort of pride for us, really.
To be honest, you know, Assembolage was something that I was initially interested in for my personal use. And, you know, like that's what we do. We see something new, we want to try it.
Yeah.
Eventually give feedback. And then it came to a point where, you know, it's something new. And I'm like, all right, I mean, let's try to do something. You know, people are asking for it. We can work it out.
Yeah. Are there going to be any sort of,
you know, like you saw the hookah and everything else. Who knows? Down the road, it might be a very well, you know, like there's going to be 20, 30 products.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw it, but I was blown away by it, man. Like, he's even the base being made in the UK. Like, if you know, like, obviously, I mean, Sergei probably to a greater extent, but I do kind of have an idea of what glass costs in the UK, and especially bases. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. So to have something fully made here is a badge of honor.
Well, a lot of the premium hookah products, anything from tobacco to actual pipes, accessories, if they are the material and the whole process to make them, you know, are high, people will still pay for it if it's good. You know, there are many companies that people will overpay, not overpay, but like pay what they're worth to get them. And that's what it is.
Well, this is it. Yeah. I mean, objectively, I'm sure that, you know, Sergei's going to be discerning with the products. I've tried his bowls. They're great. But if you want to look at it from like a completely vain perspective, like specifically in UK manufacturing, customers that I deal with that export, that made in UK badge, it has a lot of credence abroad. So the fact that that's venturing now into shisha is something quite remarkable. You know, we didn't really have it a few years ago. I think a few people would have laughed it off over in the States, like, really, a UK made product? What do they know about it? You know, so listen, we have a lot to offer.
There's different countries that are trying to step their game up and get more involved. And listen, just because
your homeland,
it's not made,
your native land is great.
Country.
I mean, yeah. Greece is a great example. Like, I don't think any of us really had any idea just how big the culture was over there. It's substantial. I mean, speaking to you and then obviously being online with you, and I get a load of Greek Malakas following me, and I chat to them, and it's like, wow, man, you guys really know your stuff, and you're really into this hobby, and it's refreshing. You know, it's and it's not like I've got any kind of preconceived ideas of what the culture is like over there. I just have no idea, and then you get into it and thinking, wow, there's all these products, and obviously Midas and you know, various different sort of Greek products that are available over there.
Greece has definitely developed, you know, and progressed in the hookah community. As the only disadvantage, the only negative is, you know, as you guys were talking about before, is the tobacco, the taxing, and it's a whole process to enjoy a very simple hobby, you know.
Speaking of tobacco, just whilst I got you on, you've been trying Blackburn. What are your thoughts on it?
I've been waiting to talk about this for a very long time.
Well, Sergei would know, because obviously, like, he's mates with Mubs, and Mubs has been doing. I mean, the first Blackburn flavor that I tried was about 8 months ago, and I've been putting off trying it for ages. And Tamak Yassin, who's a good mate of mine, he was saying, bro, you forget, like, Mustaf's good. It is good, but you got to get onto Blackburn at some point. I kept putting it off. Yeah, we'll do, bro. Fine. I don't really talk about tobacco products as much as I used to for obvious reasons. And then I tried Chupa Grape, and I was like, damn, why is it taking me so long? And then I tried some other flavors, and my favorite flavor from last year was a Blackburn flavor, papaya Bioben. Just, yeah. But yeah, you go, man. I want to hear your thoughts.
So, you know, like Russian, we don't, the same way any other country besides Russia, we don't really have direct access to Russian tobacco, specifically must-have, dark side, you know. So I kept trying must-have. I started with dark side, you know, supernova, lemongrass, like stuff like that. I tried pretty much all the must-have flavors, and then, you know, like that's what we do. I like to try, and I get excited when something new comes out, and whether it's a bowl of hookah. So you spoke to me about Blackburn, and I always had the option to get Blackburn. I had access to it, but I never really, like, there's like other, like Mad Pear tobacco, and like there's so many others.
Yeah.
You know, I just knew about must-have and dark side, so I was like,
I know, no. But as soon as you told me Blackburn was available, I'm like, bro, what are you waiting for? Get it, go, proceed at will.
So I got it in. The first 3 flavors I got in was lemon shock, ananas shock, and kiwi stoner. Chupa Grape was sold out. I thought with the packaging was amazing. Like, it's just it's mesmerizing. The cut is like, I was like, is this Russian tobacco? Because it doesn't feel like Russian tobacco.
It's very unique. It's not quite the same. It's very pliable. And I mean, I've been speaking to Mo about it, and he was like, I'm trying it a few different ways. And I thought, okay, well, I've got my Moab. I'm going to honor you, and I'm going to try it the way that you think it should be done. I tried it semi-dense. It's versatile, man. It works. I still prefer it fluffed and underpacked, obviously, but yeah, it's because it's so pliable, and the fact that it's not too. I mean, there is decent juice content in there, but it's not like, you know, what you alluded to. It's nowhere near as toothy.
Correct.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm still testing out the packing. You know, I mean, I think fluff pack or semi-fluff is like the most ideal one for me right now. Then I'll start dancing a little more. The flavors are amazing. The texture is amazing.
They really are.
The cut is amazing. Like, it's, you know, flavor, as far as the buzz you usually get, it's a more mild version of must-have.
I still, it's that midpoint where I think with Blackburn you still feel like you're smoking, but it's still enjoyable. Like if people say to me like what dark leaf brands or Russian brands in dark that you'd recommend, I'd always say Blackburn. I think Blackburn's like a good. I wouldn't say entry level. I still think there's an element of working up to it, but it
You would
doesn't
have to
have the
work,
same.
yeah, up there. It's not like
Yeah,
an
yeah, of course.
entry level dark leaf or like the Russian tobacco, but it's amazing. Like I tried more flavors now, and then I kept just restocking with new flavors, and I haven't been
Yeah,
disappointed yet. It's just like
yeah.
it's amazing. Even with the
Well,
provost, and usually I personally enjoy Russian tobacco with the Lotus on it. That's my
yeah, yeah.
personal
Me too.
preference,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. No,
I
it
use the
can, it
provost
can.
every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, me personally, I mean, with Blackburn, I prefer it with the Lotus. I don't know why. I've tried it multiple different ways. But it's not like other brands where it's like, do not touch this with a Provost. Like it needs a Lotus. It is versatile. So what I would say, it's a bit like how you and I would do Element Air. Like if I was doing Element Air with the Provost, I'd just crank up the density a bit. But if I'm using it with a Lotus, which is the way I prefer it, I'll semi-fluff it and use a Lotus. But man, I mean, that's the amount of papaya beet obed I've got, man. Like, and I'm hoarding this. Like, this is a special occasion kind of thing for me right now because with everything that's kicking off right now, I've just got a waft of it. Oh,
It's amazing.
run that
Like
back one more time.
I
It's
when I first
have you
smoked
tried
when I first smoked
this
ananas
one?
shock, which one is that?
This one, this one right here.
What is it?
Fire.
Papaya beet obed.
That's coming. I haven't tried it yet,
The,
so
the,
no.
mm, mm. I
It's
can't I can't eulogize about this flavor. It's like one flavor that I'm taking over the live about papaya beet obed, but I don't mind. I don't care. it's
overhyped.
it's maybe whatever. I don't care. I love it. It's one of those flavors. I'm very very careful because obviously I get a lot of people asking me like, bro, what's your favorite flavors? I'm like, dude, and you come out with the usual disclaimer. Oh, it's subjective. And you think about all the flavors that you like that everybody hates. That one, I'll just say to people, get it. Like
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
just an objectively good flavor. It's so potent. And I know people that even don't like papaya. They've had that and they're like, I like that. I don't like papaya. Papaya beet obed though, love it.
Amazing. Even ananas shock, which is pineapple, and I knew what the flavor is because ananas is pineapple in Greek, so it was easy for me to figure out what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
One of the best pineapples I ever tried was trifecta, and when I smoked ananas shock for the first time, it was just like trifecta pineapple on steroids. It was
yeah,
amazing. It was like
yeah,
smooth and sweet and everything I needed. And
yeah,
I can safely say that it's my favorite pineapple flavor I
yeah, yeah,
ever tried.
yeah. Have you tried that particular brand, Sigurd? Have you done a bit with Blackburn? I'm assuming you have.
I've got a few, but the problem with me is I buy flavors and then they just sit there because I just don't have the time to smoke.
Yeah,
Um,
you're busy making these. That's why.
yeah, so I can't remember the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What you're smoking right now, Blackburn Harrybun.
yeah.
It's Chef's Kiss. It's good. Yeah, I mean, it's still not my favorite color. My favorite color is Satyr, but that one is. It's Haribo, right? Like it's like a gummy collar bottles, but yeah, on point.
Very nice. What are you guys smoking today? I didn't ask you when I
Yeah, well, I've because I was smoking out of my Ascent bowl, I've been using must have in it quite often. A few people again about this, they weren't too keen on must have in this bowl. But this newer version, I'm really liking it. I like the shape of the trench. UPK is happy with this bowl on must have. So yeah, I was smoking space flavor straight, and the reason why is because I don't know what's going to happen. Shit's hitting the fan and getting real. So
space flavor straight. Wow.
it's just. I know, but it's so complex. There's just everything you want from. I mean, for me, it's like, what else do you want? You've got all the tropicals, you've got a bit of rose in there. There's that floral element. Oh, I'm good. You know, that's fine. No. And fucking
Must
PK
have
in the
nice.
Ascent, not a lot of tobacco.
I mean, yeah, it's a flavor saver for sure. I didn't get to try the first batch of Assemble. I got the redesigned one, and I was
Yeah,
very happy with it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love Must Have out of it. I'm smoking Must Have out of this now. It's actually Must Have Mango Sling with ananas shock
Oh, nice.
and a little
Good mix.
supernova, and it's amazing.
Mango Sling's a sleeper. Like I don't talk about it enough, but it is a good mango. Like people say,
Absolutely.
good straight mango. I mean, I normally gravitate to the Duff one personally, but Mango Sling is good. There's a few like Orange Team's another one. I think Orange Team gets criminally overlooked in must
I
have.
love Orange Team. I
Orange
love
Team's good.
Orange Team.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
good.
give you a recent thing that I tried from Must Have. I love milky rice. Have you ever tried lemon pie by Must Have?
Yes, I did the other week for the first time. And the reason why it took me that long is because I don't generally like dessert flavors from Moscow. There's been a few recently I've tried. That was actually not bad. That and ice cream wasn't bad either.
Ice
Those,
cream
those,
cookie
those
is good as well, but lemon pie, you smell it and it's like milky rice with lemon flakes in it. Lemon pie has officially been my favorite mustard flavor as of today. It's
wow.
amazing. It's milky rice with some lemon in it.
Yeah.
That's what lemon pie is.
Any Milky Rice mix recommendations I'm open to because I did not get on with Milky Rice as a lot of people know. But yeah, I think it's one of those flavors that if you mix it with the right thing, then it will work.
So much potential. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Cool, guys. I think that's about it. We've answered loads of the questions. We had a nice little cameo. I'm sorry, you were probably going to smoke anyway, Tasso, so I'm not sorry.
Absolutely. I am going to smoke.
But no, that's about it, guys. I think we've answered all the questions. I've learned a lot. Like, so he makes the bowls. He's going to come out with a pipe towards the end of the year. The scope is broad. Any final remarks from you, Sigurd?
Thank you for having us.
I'm blown away by it.
Yeah. No, it's been good. I've intermittently checking the comments, and I think a lot of people, they were repeating my sentiments. They were like, wow, this guy makes the bowls himself and all that stuff. So you would not believe how impressive that is, bro. It's really, really good.
Hello greetings from Greece. Hello, Greece. Kalispera.
Greetings from Greece, yeah. And I've got to say goodbye to Greece because I'm going to get on, guys. But no, thanks for both joining on. Tasso, I appreciate the cameo.
Thank you for letting me join. Have a good night.
No problem at all. And as soon as I get the details for the giveaway, I'll pass them on to Sigurd. He'll sort it. Really appreciate you doing that. But yeah, that's about it. Next week's guest, I'll announce it soon. But yeah, thanks everyone.
Awesome. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.